Risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek. What's going on, sir?
I wish we were on top of the cell right now so I can throw you off through your announce table, since you're the Mick Foley to my Undertaker.
Thank you.
Be honored, man.
I'm not sure if I should. Scholar Brian, to my left. Should I be honored with that, or should I be horribly frightened?
Little bit of both.
And he's the Terry Funk.
That's
good enough.
So,
and
oh boy,
the aliens have given me my car back right in time for a little bit of hell.
Beautiful.
But where's your shoe?
Better left unsaid, I guess. And joining us as our special guest this week, our new scholar friend, Scholar Dave. What's up, sir?
What's going on, guys? I think you should be honorably terrified, to kind of putting it in politely.
Clearly, you're getting the swing of things on the Scholars of Wrestling show very quickly, aren't you?
Well, since this is my first time really with the full... No, this is my second time with the full group.
Yeah.
I guess so. It doesn't take much for me.
Oh, it doesn't take much for any of us.
That's what she said?
Yes.
Oh.
She's a whore.
Whoring aside, we still have a lot to talk about this week in wrestling.
Pouring out the cell.
That's Hell in a Cell 2017, yet another WWE production. But before we get into that...
Oh, not just WWE, fool. Smackdown production.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But we're not...
Yay.
Before we get into SmackDown's goings-on, first off, I believe you've got a lot to say with this week's Raw report.
Indeed, I do. But before I go on my little soapbox rant here, it's just the big news that came out of this one is Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel basically getting chaired out of this future six-man tag match with the new reunion of The Shield, now replaced with Sheamus and my man Cesaro.
Well, let's
There
face
you
it.
go.
Okay, let's face
Made the
it.
match 10 times better.
Which match would you rather see?
Oh, the latter.
Exactly.
Quite,
so it's
quite.
like when it first started, you had The Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel, and it's like they'll bring the Shield back for this.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the thing where it's like everybody's kind of like, really, this crap. I mean, it was on the collision course to making it like The Rock and Cena versus The Miz and R-Truth. I mean, if you're gonna have Cena and Rock tag team, it should have been a better match with caliber talent. Not taking anything away from R-Truth, but it was.
I love that he left the Miz out of that statement.
I mean, come on now. At that point, he was a former WWE champion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had that
It
credibility
makes sense.
already right there. But either way, back to my original point. They're on that collision course of like, okay, you have The Miz and two jobbers against three former WWE champions, three multi-time world champions.
They're gonna
and The
annihilate
Shield.
them in seconds.
Yes.
Okay?
So it makes sense to have another former world champion with them in Sheamus, and then an all-around badass in Cesaro.
Future world champion.
and just
I knew that was
Should
coming.
be future world
just
champion.
just keep the feuds going that you've been going. Okay, the Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Sheamus and Cesaro feud. Why not?
Right.
Why not keep it going? It makes perfect sense.
They were the
Wait,
match for
did
No
you
Mercy.
say a WWE produced product that's not NXT makes perfect sense?
It's weird because the tag team
A segment
divisions,
does.
the tag team divisions on both shows, okay, make perfect sense. While everything else is, what the hell am I looking at? What is happening?
It's actually something that I talked with Dave before. Like, actually, I think it was after No Mercy. That it's not exactly the tag team divisions per se. It's just the people who are the tag champs and the people who are fighting for the titles for both Raw and SmackDown.
It's weird for me because even the Hype Bros thing that they've got going on right now makes sense.
Oh, they're at
Yeah.
So it's like
But they're breaking up another tag team. Why?
Mojo.
Who cares? Well, what has he done other than? Well, I'm not going to say it. This is
yeah, you're just about to take my anti-mojo here.
I added
could-
Mojo to that Mojo Jojo.
Wow.
Oh, this is going to be a fun
Powerpuff
show.
Girls reference? Really, Dave?
Yes.
Nothing against Powerpuff Girls, but wow.
Why
Okay.
the hell not?
Why the
And
hell
we're not
not?
even 6 minutes in.
You're the ones that brought me here. What the hell were you thinking?
Oh, we're in the mood for some fun tonight.
But yes, the match just now got 10 times better. This is going to be the main event for TLC since Brock Lesnar is MIA, and it only leaves
TLC match?
6-man tag TLC.
Yeah.
That could be. That would be amazing.
That actually would be good.
With this combination of guys,
I think that actually is gonna happen. But then there's also, I guess this is now just gonna be Scholars Quick Talk. What are they gonna do with Braun Strowman?
Honestly, whatever they do with him, I don't care. Truthfully, I hope they do what the rumor is, that they're doing another superstar shakeup. Bring him over to SmackDown. The people are already cheering for him anyway. Put the WWE title on him and get it off Jinder Mahal. And have it happen that way. That's just me being like the ultimate optimist and like thinking outside the box. I mean, heaven forbid. But for Raw, I don't know what you can do with him. I really don't know, because Joe's injured.
And there's only so many times you can have him walking around the back, just randomly stumble on someone and throw him through a grate or whatever. So
Honestly,
it's an instant feud starter, though.
It actually brings a question. Wait, there's now another rumor of a superstar shakeup. I know there was one talked about for after SummerSlam, but
there's a rumor every month
is
about
there?
a
but this
superstar shakeup. So.
This one in particular, because they kind of want to move KO away from SmackDown after the Hell in a Cell match, regardless of the result.
Yeah, they want to bring him over to Raw, I'm sure, to continue with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and that kind of deal.
Understandable, but also really looking at it, that's one thing you take away from SmackDown again. A big name.
Yeah,
or you trade, or you just don't do a superstar shakeup, you just do a straight trade.
But then I'll add to that comment. Who would you trade for?
Kevin Owens for Braun Strowman.
Other than that,
I don't think.
No.
I honestly don't think that Raw would be stupid. Like storyline wise, Raw would be stupid enough to trade Braun Strowman, because also look at it, it's a story.
And I think in reality, though, I think it Raw and storyline, it makes zero sense. No,
Cesaro's not going to
SmackDown.
as much as you want it. It won't
keep the bar together. This is a good
trust
thing.
me, there's a bar right here. It's all over for Cesaro, baby. Oh. And that's why it'll even become a harder bar. Him going to SmackDown and winning that WWE Championship. Oh, sorry, you think that's my hand, but no, that's really my penis.
And folks, yes, you can say penis on this podcast network. But anyway, while Jeff turns bright red over here.
Oh, trust me, it'll take more than that for me to
He
finish.
is turning bright red.
It'll take more than that for me to finish with Cesaro.
But
Let's
honestly,
try and keep it PG-13, shall we, kids?
Never!
No! It is PG-13. Well, never mind. But anyway, but as far as SmackDown goes, okay, storyline sense wouldn't make sense. But trading Braun Strowman in reality, like in the grand scheme of things, I think would be fantastic, because you see that. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow it, but on Twitter I look at it all the time, and the people posting pictures of all the blacked out sections, or just the hard cam side of the crowd is just completely bare. So I think Braun Strowman, he's larger than life. You got to bring Braun in and another person or two from Raw to SmackDown to try and even the playing field. I would say for argument's sake, bring over Wyatt, Strowman, and then just for the hell of it, why not bring over Paige? I know she's being talked about for Raw, but you're going to have Asuka on Raw. You're overpowering Raw. Give some love to SmackDown. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff I will go... What we're talking about, I'm going to go into greater detail personally when I make my predictions for Hell in a Cell later on.
All right, go ahead. Not now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, sorry,
move on to your next topic.
Yeah. Fool, do you have anything else to add about Raw this week?
Oh, do I?
All right, take us home.
Speaking of Paige, the second biggest story to come out of Raw, right behind the reuniting Shield against my man Cesaro and Sheamus, and my favorite championship being held by The Miz, is the big discussion with our good old Uncle Bray.
Oh boy!
As soon as the one, what I loved about it is that even Finn was just like, I already beat him as the Demon. I've already beaten him as the Man. What more does Bray Wyatt want? And I loved the video package of him saying, she never lies, or she's never lied to me. And he's talking about Sister Abigail is looking forward to meeting you. And then he does a laugh that's mixing with him and a female voice, Sister Abigail. And you see his face changing to, essentially, it's going to be his makeup. Since, Sister Abigail... Okay, how I took it, he's wearing the makeup. Sister Abigail is going to be, for Bray Wyatt, what the Demon is for Finn Balor.
I thought that was pretty obvious.
I'm
for
pretty
me.
sure that's the plan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said it right there, fool. It's pretty obvious what they're doing. But there are a bunch of Bray Wyatt fan sites. There are Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez. There's even this guy right here, which would made it even greater that we're having you on the show tonight.
Wait, hold on. So where he's going to go at with this is because being the wise ass I sometimes feel like being over on Twitter, I said, imagine if Sister Abigail turns out to be JoJo.
He's just adding fuel to this flame that's burning inside me of everyone saying, oh, now we're finally going to have a physical Sister Abigail, huh? We're actually going to see someone who should be Sister Abigail. Maybe it's Paige. They'll just repackage Paige. Or it's someone from the Mae Young Classic. Who could it possibly be?
Sarah Logan.
And you have Simon Miller basically saying, oh, I'm going to give the Bray Wyatt Finn it down because all Bray Wyatt does is just say gobbledygook. Well, you know what? Fuck that. I said it once. That's my deal. Yet last week was the only exception. It's clear as day what they're doing. If you are able to follow this storyline, which is not as convoluted as people make it out to be, after his feud with Randy Orton, quote, quote, kills the spirit of Sister Abigail. Bray Wyatt, quote, quote, again, bathed in her ashes. They slowly hinted at something that him bathing in her ashes let something loose inside of him. They hinted at it when he faced Luke Harper that one time, and he was spitting out some kind of goop out of his mouth, black goop out of his mouth, and he looked sickly. And then after that, they never talked about it again. That was all they did. They eventually planted a seed, which, how I look
It's a literary term. Hold it.
How I look at it is them actually continuing with that, now having Sister Abigail be Bray Wyatt's demon that basically strengthens him. The fact that people are trying to make this make him have a physical Sister Abigail, for people complaining that, oh man, they're just gonna put Bray Wyatt in drag. That's just stupid. Oh, why does this have to be so mythical and all? That's the point of Bray Wyatt. He's a mythical character. They're trying to make him a new-esque Undertaker.
People like the Undertaker.
People like the Undertaker. And it's not. It is storytelling. It's fantasy. WWE storytelling is fantasy.
You know what this is?
Why is this so hard for Bray Wyatt? He's not going to be dressed in drag. All they're doing is going to have his hair more dangled in front of his face, and you're going to see his Sister Abigail, quote, makeup for TLC.
I'll tell you exactly what this is.
It's so obvious.
This is Dragon Ball Z. And really, now we've got a second Super Saiyan. Seriously.
That's probably the best reference that you could do.
I actually thought you were going to go with that Bray Wyatt is Piccolo and Sister Abigail is Kami, but Super Saiyan works too.
That's not a bad thing either.
Yeah, basically, we've already got the transformational aspect out of Finn Balor, so we've already got one crazy Super Saiyan transformation. Now we're getting another one.
And for me, and I'm sure for everyone here, since they're going to have another rematch with a now upgraded Bray Wyatt, he has to win.
I think that's where it's going. If they're smart, if they want to retain the value of Bray Wyatt, because really, as far as I'm concerned, Finn Balor can take the hit.
If
he's already beaten him twice.
If they're going to do 3 matches in a row, and Bray Wyatt loses,
technically this is the 4th.
Well,
sorry.
Bray Wyatt won the first one.
Yeah.
So whatever. The matches on pay-per-view, which are the ones
I'll give you that one.
Which are the ones that WWE really gives a shit about.
Barely.
That's
unless you pour blood on Finn Balor, but yeah. Or quote blood.
But you can't do that 3 times in a row and expect Bray Wyatt's barely taken seriously as it is because of how much he loses.
I mean,
so
even though he's won a good number of feuds, but the problem is he's won feuds, but
I think he's won more matches than he has feuds. Like if you're supposedly winning feuds,
he's won against Seth Rollins, he's won against Dean Ambrose, he's won against Daniel Bryan, he's won against Kane. The only difference when he's winning these feuds, nobody changes from it. They're still in status quo where they were when they started the feud. Granted, like the bigger matches, John Cena and Undertaker and Randy Orton, yes, he has lost. But really, when you look at it, those are the only 3 big feuds that he's lost. Everyone else, he actually, they're still going with Finn Balor, but Finn's winning.
He's obviously trusted with these guys for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's devaluing him in the eye of the general public and like the wrestling fan, but a lot has to be said too of just him being trusted by the guy, by the powers that be and the opinions that matter around the company. Like, all right, whatever. Like, I get it. It would have been nice if he had a longer run with the title, or if he maybe got a chance at another run. Yeah. I mean, there's no chance in hell of that happening on Raw. But that being said, I mean, I don't know. Go ahead.
The big thing is if you're going to introduce this side to his character, you've been hinting at it. We've never really seen it, other than Goop and the bathing in the ashes or whatever. We haven't seen the manifestation, so you're gonna bring that out and then have him lose? No, I realize that this is the WWE we're talking about, and I shouldn't be talking about making sense ever. So, but if they want to keep making me happy, the tag team division makes sense right now. Why not have the mythical storyline make sense right now? The Demons won. The Man's won. So Bray Wyatt's going to bring out his mythical shit, and Bray Wyatt's mythical shit is going to win. That's it. I'm
going to make the early prediction that Finn Balor wins.
I'm going to say that Bray Wyatt wins round 3, and then next month... What?
4.
No.
He's continuing with me. Technically, it's their 4th.
Whatever. I want Bray Wyatt to win this one. And then I want this feud to go full anime before it ends, so that Finn Balor goes Demon Balor level 2 and just like summons a spirit bomb or something. and then the feud ends.
Just have one of the what were they called in Impact Wrestling with the Hardys?
Oh, the broken gimmicks. Wait, what?
No, the
Lake of Reincarnation
specials and whatever. Just have like.
That, yeah.
Just have like one of those where they're out in the field somewhere and they're just doing
the drunk.
No, just the way they're shooting the matches. He's talking about how they did the stuff like the final deletion.
They did that with the House of Horrors. That was a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah, but that's with Randy Orton. That's with Bray Wyatt not showing any mythical powers and fucking Randy Orton
not
being
Super
Randy
Saiyan,
Orton.
Not Super
We've
Saiyan.
got
Bray
two
Wyatt.
guys. We've got 2 guys here.
So in this Dragon Ball Z anime final, who would come in as future Trunks to kill Bray Wyatt here?
No one. Okay, there is no future Trunks in this story.
No, we're not going beyond the Namek saga.
Okay.
Fine.
I started the rant. I will end it with this. This is finally giving us an upgrade to Bray Wyatt's character, which people have been wanting him to do, which, in a certain extent, he does need and hopefully this will actually elevate him. Finn Balor doesn't need elevation. He's the first Universal Champion. You can't take that away from him. Hopefully this will put Bray Wyatt in a position where now people won't look at him as a joke. People will actually take him seriously, and his feuds in the future will actually benefit from this.
To your point, Vacant took it away from him.
Huh?
Vacant took it away from Finn
Vacant?
Balor.
Vacant.
Yes. Vacant always wins.
Damn you, Vacant.
Vacant always wins. Okay.
Anyway, that's
Raw
enough.
rant. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm tossing it aside until it's needed again. All right, now we're here. Now let's talk about the real reason why we're all here.
Yes, we're talking about WWE Hell in a Cell 2017. With no further ado, let's just dive right in, starting with the pre-show of Gable and Benjamin versus the Hype Bros on the pre-show. Gentlemen, who you got?
Dave, you're the guest. You go first.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's the pain of becoming a guest.
You have to think about the Hype Bros.
Just remove your liquid for a second.
Oh god damn it!
So
You had to do that.
I mean, I don't care about this. I mean, I'm very happy about Gable and Benjamin becoming a tag team. Although I was happy with Gable doing his thing as a singles wrestler. Obviously, they don't trust him at that point. So I mean, this is a good substitute for Kurt Angle's bastard son. So I'll give this one to Gable and Benjamin, and the Hype Bros turn on each other.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely second that. Hopefully the Hype Bros don't turn on each other that soon. I'm sure they're going to be hinting at it. But ultimately, again, I'm one of that rare breed that actually likes the Hype Bros, so take that forever you will. Next.
I'll call it Scholars Quick Talk. Do the Hype Bros break up after this match?
Yes.
I don't want them to, so I'm going to say no.
Because Vince McMahon is on this big hard-on on breaking up tag teams, probably.
I don't think they do it tonight. I don't think they do it at Hell in a Cell. I think they do it to SmackDown after. But reiterating what everybody else has said, you continue the storyline with the Hype Bros, and the only way that works is if they lose this match. So Gable and Benjamin for the win. And you also don't want to make Benjamin lose his first match
on pay-per-view
back. Even though they've done it to other people, I'm sure that you wouldn't want to do it to Benjamin.
Fool?
Well, make it 4. Ain't no stopping them.
Yeah.
Gable and Benjamin, and Brian doesn't think so, but I do think they're going to have the Hype Bros start fighting each other once the match is over, and that's going to close out the pre-show, them beating the ever-loving hell out of each other. Like
Okay.
a bunch of 3-year-old girls.
Or just one Rough Rider and he walks out.
Okay then.
Huh, maybe.
Okay then. Well, anyway, moving on to the rest of the card, we've got for the SmackDown Tag Team titles in a Hell in a Cell match. We've got the New Day versus the Usos again. Guys, what do you got?
Why not keep the patty cake going? I'm gonna go with the Usos. Just, every time they've fought for the titles have changed heads. Why not keep it going? The heel team wins. The New Day has already gone up in my estimation on Raw. Okay, by the end of their tenure on Raw, I just wanted them off of my TV. I didn't give a shit about the New Day. They came over, they got involved with the Usos. They're now back on my okay list. But the Usos are on a roll right now. The characters that they have, the promos that they cut, the promos on crack that they cut, and it's like these guys. Before these characters, okay, I have never said that I was looking forward to an Usos match. Never once. But now, they're one of the only things I look forward to on SmackDown on a weekly basis. And I think that needs rewarding by having them win the feud with the New Day and move on.
I see what you're saying, but part of me I'm still convinced that WWE still sees the New Day as still a very serious asset. So I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked if they do it, but I'm not totally convinced yet. I'm going to go with the New Day to win this. Dark, Dave?
Well,
what you got?
I look at this as the whole purpose of the Hell in a Cell match, period, is the match to end the feud, the final go. And when I was thinking about, let's see, like where would people go storyline wise once this feud is over? And the only logical one for me is the New Day keeping the tag team titles after this one. Sort of similar to what Jeff said. I just see WWE putting so much backing to the New Day. I would love to see the Usos win and end the feud, but
the New Day have new underpants coming out.
Sold.
So
I already bought 3 pair.
Did you really?
One for each guy.
Okay. Awkward. But for me, if the Usos win, it just keeps their feud going. And I think that would reach the point where it's over. Jeff, keep it in, man. Take a deep breath.
I'm good. Continue.
But yeah, if the Usos win, I just see this feud still going, and then it would reach the point. Okay, now it's overkill. They've done a Hell in a Cell. What more can these teams do to each other? I see this being the final one, and the New Day ending up winning the feud because New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
Dave, what do you got?
I'm going completely opposite of what Tarek has said. I think right now the most logical way to make sense of this feud to end, as well as the progress of any potential storyline for the SmackDown Tag Team titles going forward, is for the Usos to win the titles. I agree with Brian with the flip-flop. It's going to continue. I mean, look at look at the landscape of wrestling right now, particularly WWE, since obviously the topic of discussion. They're more concerned about the pop here and now versus a long-term feud. This isn't NXT. NXT has these long, drawn-out feuds that keep people invested, that people give half a crap about, the whole 9 yards. WWE, it's always short-term, and more so on SmackDown than it is on either brand. So, to me, what makes most sense is the Usos win, and because, granted, Shelton Benjamin is one of the better athletes to ever come out of WWE, particularly Ohio Valley Wrestling, back when, the class of, Orton, Cena, Brock, and Benjamin. But anyway, they're going to push Gable and Benjamin really hard, really fast, because, you know what? Why the hell not? And it's not like they don't have, the Fashion Police that they could have given another chance to, or they could have done anything. But it goes along with my prediction of Gable and Benjamin. This one will be the one that puts them over the hump to get a shot at the tag titles, and the Usos are going to be that heel team to counter the face tag team in the next feud going forward.
Yeah,
that's why I said Usos.
Because it's also, you look at most of the teams that could challenge on SmackDown for the tag team titles, and they're all faces. So it's like,
except for the Ascension, but they don't matter.
Fuck the Ascension. But so the thing that makes most sense to me is to have the heel tag team to face off against the face tag teams up and coming. So,
and with that, it looks like we've got an even split, 2-on-2. See, that alone is going to make this match way more interesting for me. Not only it's just like the two of the greatest tag teams going today in WWE in a Hell in a Cell match for the titles, but
potentially match of the night.
I think it'll be match of the night easily, hands down.
Yeah, no doubt.
They've already done enough. Like they've already done amazing things, But now you have the Hell in a Cell there. I mean, I can't even imagine what they're going to do.
Oh well, We'll have to find out this Sunday.
They were almost match of the night on the damn pre-show of SummerSlam.
They were the match of the night.
Of
the whole night.
I gave that to the maybe it's nostalgia talking. I gave that to the Shield versus Sheamus and Cesaro, but at that point. Okay, for 3/4 of the night for me, a match on the damn pre-show was the match of the night. So, and those were regular matches. Now imagine what they can do in a Hell in a Cell.
My pants got tight.
And with that, speaking of tight pants, next match on the card, we've got Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Who do you boys got?
It's you first, fool.
Okay, well, really, I'm just going to put it out there. I don't even know how we can even talk about this. I'm just going to say Bobby Roode just because...
Glorious.
He's due.
Dolph Ziggler is the jobber to the newcomers. That is his role now. Whenever you see a newcomer like Shinsuke Nakamura, like Bobby Roode, okay, they come up, who gets fed to them first? Dolph Ziggler. If Dolph Ziggler comes up against you, you're winning. That's it. No questions asked. Bobby Roode.
Tark, Dave?
Rude.
Well, that was quick.
Truthfully, just to verify, and all you know this, and I've expressed it on this show, I've expressed it on anywhere that'll listen to me. I am not a Dolph Ziggler fan. I never have. I was probably the one of two people that was booing when he cashed in the night after WrestleMania. Like, I remember the overwhelming cheers, and here I am, like, you suck! Like, I can't stand him. There was something about him always I just couldn't stand. Even in the Spirit Squad. There was something about him I just couldn't stand. And not that I ever want to see anybody lose their jobs or do this, that. But he's getting paid handsome money to be a jobber. I wish I can get paid handsome money to be a jobber. I mean, let's just be honest. But I'm kind of glad that this is his position in the company because I'm tired of them trying to push him to be a world champion. Where even in my eyes now, even though he has 2 world championship reigns on his resume, to me he was never a world champion. So, selfishly and spitefully, this is where I'm so glad that Bobby Roode will get the beat him.
Hey, it's Roode's time. And not for nothing. Even if Ziggler has to go out, he'll go out looking like a star.
Glorious.
And everyone will look like a star in the process. But anyway, next match in the card for the U.S. title, we've got AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. Who do you got?
Baron Corbin just lost to Ty Dillinger. Why would I think he could beat AJ Styles?
Naive optimism, maybe?
I am neither an optimist nor am I naive. AJ Styles to retain the title.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go along with naive optimism and say Baron Corbin. For the sheer reason of Road Dogg is the head writer of SmackDown.
God damn it.
And nothing makes sense. And nothing makes sense on SmackDown. Ever. Rarely does anything ever make sense on that shit show of a brand. But I digress. Baron Corbin is the new U.S. champion. Hopefully to make way, not to spoil what I think for a future match, to set up AJ for a potential WWE Championship match down the line.
Okay, just going off of the implications of what you just said alone, I was going to go with AJ Styles anyway, but I'm going to do with it. I'm going to say AJ Styles again, just because I really, really, really like what you're implying right now. Mm-hmm. So, again, we'll get to that later. Say no more. Mm-hmm. Fool, take us home. What do you got?
Well, to be fair, I actually think what Dave is trying to hint at is actually kind of switcheroo with what you're thinking about. But I'm actually siding with Dave on this one. I think they're just as much as AJ Styles deserves a win. I mean, granted, the man he lost his money in the bank. He lost to Ty Dillinger. He lost to Shinsuke. Baron Corbin's on a downward spiral, and I just see him pulling some kind of shenanigans to win the title off AJ Styles.
I mean, truthfully, not to cut you off from your thought, Brian, for 1 second. I mean, I think it's time for Corbin anyway. He's grown on me over the years through NXT and to here and now. He might be an asshole in life or whatever, I don't care. But for the person that I care about is the character. No shit. But I care about the character on television. And the character on television, the way he's developed and the way he's progressed, he's gone with the punches. So I think, and honestly, if you're Baron Corbin or if you're anybody like a casual wrestling fan, AJ Styles putting Baron Corbin over would be huge for not only Corbin's career, but again, like I said before, it makes room for Styles to do other stuff, and I'll get into that when we talk about the WWE title match later.
Speaking about the WWE title shot that you're talking about, I've got Styles winning the Royal Rumble. So that's how I see him getting his title shot. I see him getting a WrestleMania.
Goes,
I see him getting the WrestleMania title shot this year. So that's why nothing can sway me. AJ Styles.
And with that, we've got another split. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. But moving on to the next match, we've got Natalya versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title.
Okay.
What do you got?
Charlotte wins. Carmella cashes in. That's my prediction.
Charlotte wins. Carmella cashes in.
Natty wins, and Carmella cashes in.
Brian.
Carmella cashes in. I think Natty wins.
Okay.
Carmella cashes in on James Ellsworth.
Yes.
Shut up.
Oh boy.
James Ellsworth that cashes in on whoever the champion is.
James Ellsworth
He's
heads the
cashing it outside. How about
he's technically the first women's Money in the Bank winner.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Why not
Ellsworth or
James
Harvina?
Ellsworth, honorary women's champion?
Okay. Here's what I think happens. Charlotte wins. Carmella comes out. James Ellsworth asks permission to try and cash it in for her. Says no. And then Carmella cashes in. Yeah, honestly, this one could go either way. In my eyes, anyway. So again, to make things interesting, I'm picking Charlotte just to make it another split for as far as the picks go.
And not to try and sway you guys from changing your mind, and that meaning Tarek and Jeff. Hold on, just hear me out.
I'm just saying, there's no once you make the prediction.
I understand that.
There is no changing.
I understand that, but just let me expand your minds here for 1 second. Didn't Charlotte beat Carmella pretty convincingly on SmackDown?
Yep.
Why would Carmella want to cash in on Charlotte?
Because Natalya works her over strong enough that Charlotte is weakened enough where she can do that.
I mean, that's Space Hill, not Space Mountain working here. Why are you going to cash in on Space Hill?
And let's face it, okay, they've been building a little thing. They've been building a little thing between Natalya and Carmella for a little while now.
Agreed.
So it makes sense to me that the cash in would be on Natty.
Triple threat next month.
I would like that. Oh, and one more thing before we go to the next match. Would anybody be surprised? I hate to kind of retract. AJ Styles, Baron Corbin. Would anybody be surprised if that ended in a disqualification?
Not in the slightest.
I really hope it doesn't, just because on a show like this.
I know you. I know you don't hope. I know you hope it doesn't. But would it surprise you?
No, because it would be a good way to continue it, and then maybe get a triple threat match next.
I'd say yes, just because they're. No.
I'm just saying disqualification more than likely with Ty Dillinger interference.
Exactly, to build to a triple threat match
at the Rumble.
Not on this show.
Starcade, yeah.
Not on this show.
That's fine, but I'm not making an official prediction. I'm just saying, would it surprise you?
True. It wouldn't. I guess it wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, it's just dumb. Please don't do it. But either way, moving on.
You said please don't do it, which means they will. So there you go.
I'm begging you, please.
Now they're definitely doing it.
I hate you. Anyway, moving on. Next match, we've got Randy Orton versus Rusev.
Pee break match.
What in the world is happening here?
pay break.
I guarantee you this. It will last more than 6 seconds.
Better.
That's not what she said.
Ah? Anyway, who do you got? Who lasts longer, put it that way.
Done.
This has gone downhill really fast.
Welcome to the Scholars of Wrestling.
Whacking his penis on the table earlier, walking away. That's it.
This will never be a family show again.
It was never a family. It was never a family show to begin with.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, give us some predictions.
Honestly, for me, I wasn't saying it to be a smart ass, but I'm being serious. This is my bathroom break match because I don't care about this feud. I'm not invested in Rusev anymore. Orton bores the hell out of me.
Orton apparently bores the hell out of himself.
Good.
He hates being a face right now. He
Who
wants
cares?
to go back to being a heel.
Then go home. But anyway, Orton. Because it was a bullshit victory that Rusev had, obviously. And they're going to write it by actually having an actual match between Rusev. Truthfully, it could be an excellent match. But storyline-wise, I have zero interest in this because of the two guys. And I really just don't care how this goes.
It basically took the words right out of my mouth. This is a feud that doesn't matter. It's not going to elevate anybody. Okay? We talked last month. I thought it could elevate Rusev, but then he lost in 6 seconds. So
and he had a bullshit victory on SmackDown.
You can't get that. You can't get that back. Once you've lost in 6 seconds, and they give it back to you by the bullshit victory on SmackDown. No, this is another vehicle for Randy Orton to win a feud. They're spinning their tires, whatever they've got planned for Randy Orton in the future. I don't give a shit about this match. Randy Orton wins.
Fool?
I'm going to make that a 3. You guys pretty much said it. I want Rusev to succeed, but
I think it's kind of late for him at this point.
I wouldn't go that far, but I just don't think this is... I'm just going to say Randy Orton.
And judging by a piece of paper, it looks like a clean sweep.
Yeah, I got to go with Randy Orton, too. It's, again... I gotta mirror Tarek's feelings with this. I want to like Rusev, I really do, but they're just not doing anything with the poor guy.
The writing is fucking horrible for Rusev.
And watch, now Rusev wins this match in spite of all of us.
The best thing Rusev has done is that Snickers commercial.
This is true.
You're not wrong.
Going all out on that country music. I love it.
Well, not just that, but also, let's face it, Southpaw Regional Wrestling. That one's up there too.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's true, yes.
Big Bartholomew, he will forever live on in our hearts.
Are there any new episodes?
Not since the new one.
Not since season 2.
Aww.
But whatever. Well, there's going to be more.
Oh, I hope so.
But anyway, let's get into the first of our 2 main events for the WWE title.
Not
once again, which is shocking to me. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal.
I'm going to go last on this one, if you guys don't mind.
I'll go first on this one, just because I feel like I need to.
So obvious.
Every month until it happens, Shinsuke Nakamura, especially now, not just for my blind fandom of the man, but also just get the damn title off of Jinder Mahal. It's not working. It's conclusive at this point. Now it's just getting painful. End it already. Give it to someone who deserves it. And Shinsuke wins.
This is coming from the guy who was all don't hinder Jinder when he first won the damn thing.
All I said was give him a chance. We gave him a chance. He fell on his face.
I really want to say Shinsuke Nakamura.
So say it.
I really do.
Say it.
However.
No, however. Say it. Don't be that guy.
They haven't gone to India yet.
Don't do it.
And they're going to. So it comes down to this. Do we want Jinder Mahal to go there as one-time champion? long reigning one-time champion? Or do we want Jinder Mahal to go there as the 2-time reigning defending WWE champion? Okay, because that means that would mean Shinsuke would have to lose it back
if they actually end up doing that.
They would.
But
the only reason they put the title on him in the first place was because they were going to India.
Or just to get the audience, which they don't necessarily need to be directly in India for. And I've heard reports that supposedly they're not attracting the viewership in India like they have.
No, they're actually losing subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. They
which
lost
is making
subscribers.
me think that, you know what? My fandom aside, Shinsuke is probably going to win this.
But once again, goes back to the fact of when has the WWE ever listened to its fan base?
WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, and then they put him against Kane and killed the title reign. That's it.
But they did it at the time.
Yeah.
Again, it's not like they've got a completely flawed track record. I mean, I know it's WWE, but
wasn't it 30?
Oh yeah, it was 30. What
30.
am I saying? 31. Blorb. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Sorry.
So which is
I
it?
Okay, he didn't make his full official prediction.
Follow your heart. Form the spirit bomb. Put your hands to the sky.
Still with the DBZ reference, huh?
It will never leave. It will never leave. I'll tell you
Fuck it, I'm going Jinder. I'll be that guy.
I believed in you.
Jeff, when do you know Brian ever following his heart?
It's always my pessimistic brain from hell because I know the company I'm dealing with. That's it.
If you don't believe in yourself, believe in me who believes in you. All right.
Okay.
Next.
I'm the next, huh? Okay.
It's a general sweeping motion to you both.
Yeah. Did you hear how he said next?
Next.
Bastards.
Don't make me quote another anime over here. I will do it.
Just don't.
I can quote SpongeBob for you.
No!
That doesn't count. Anyway, moving on.
Quote a good Nickelodeon show. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. Go ahead.
Fool, you're gonna hate me.
Don't you say it.
You're gonna hate me.
Don't do
Come
it.
to the dark side. We have cookies.
Don't. Form a spirit bomb. Spirit bomb.
Okay, well, I'm Kid Boo that took control over that spirit bomb. I'm going with Jinder on this one.
Damn your references.
It's only because they're going to India. They would want, even though they're losing audience, it's the man who they're pushing as the India guy going into India as WWE champion. I want Shinsuke to win. Trust me. How much of my disdain for Jinder has been through this show, and hell, even when we were watching SmackDown since he won the damn thing.
We went 20 minutes on the SummerSlam prediction show just talking about how Jinder sucks ass.
Trust me, this title reign is a fail. Through and through. Since Shinsuke's his number 2 feud since he won the title. It's been the same thing over and his matches it's pretty much been Miz 2.0 with Jinder Mahal. Him and Miz are pretty much the same storyline right now. A champion with 2 lackeys who interfere in his matches to keep the belt on him. That's both of their storylines right now.
Except the Miz is over.
Except the Miz is entertaining and good on the mic, and yes, over. Jinder is none of those things. He sucks. He's honestly the worst champion, period.
Which is why I'm saying that, you know what? Anyone can see this. Viewership is down. Subscriptions are down. Take the damn belt off him. Don't let him lead your brand. Leave it to Shinsuke.
Oh, trust me. I would love to give it to Shinsuke. But no, it's not going to be that way. And Vince McMahon's out of his cuckoo Cocoa Puffs mind. And
I will jump for joy if Shinsuke Nakamura wins the title. I will gladly take the L on this one.
Me too. I would be too. I want Shinsuke to win, especially with this stupid as shit storyline they're giving them.
But here's what I'm thinking, though. Yes, it is WWE. However, if there's one way to get through to the powers that be in WWE, Vince McMahon included, you hit their bottom line. They're losing subscribers. You talk to them in money. They're not getting the support they thought they were from the Indian crowd, from the Indian audience. They're not recouping they're not getting a return on their investment. Some bean counters are going to get into Vince McMahon's ear and say, that Jinder guy isn't really working like we thought. Get the belt off him. So that's when they're finally going to end this damn thing and then just give it to Shinsuke.
Vince McMahon is Mr. Plinkett?
Yes.
It's what you sounded like right there.
Dave's
bring
ready.
out the pizza rolls.
Dave's ready.
So
Here we go.
Dave,
I'm winding up.
I know exactly. I know what he's going
End
for.
it.
Here, just give me the pen for 1 second.
No.
Just-
I'm the controller of... I'm marking
he's
off
the
the run
pen man.
sheet.
Fine.
He likes to write things.
All right. So, this feud's taking me back to a time where the WWE was at its absolute worst. 1995. The only thing I can think of is King Mabel versus Diesel for the WWF Championship at SummerSlam.
Who's Shinsuke Nakamura?
It doesn't matter who's who.
I'm just curious.
Is
he Mabel?
Well, if he's not the champion at the moment, then yes.
Shinsuke is Big Daddy Cool, and we all know it.
Well, hold on.
Cool guy, leather pants. I mean, come on.
So, this
long hair.
This feud with Nakamura, and I'm at the risk of not being invited back because I'm going to really probably piss off Jeff. This feud with Nakamura was the worst idea that they could have done for Jinder Mahal as a champion for two reasons. One, you have a cult crowd that obviously wants Shinsuke Nakamura to win, and they're not going to give anything else a chance other than, oh, you finally put him in the title picture, why aren't you giving him the championship? That's one, and that's kind of my new point. The main point that I have is, you have a guy, okay, Mahal, he's not great on the microphone, but he's decent. What he really needed was a guy who could work a varied style, which obviously Shinsuke can't. I'm sorry, but he can't. And Shinsuke has zero microphone skills because, and it's no fault of his, native Japan, it's his accent that kills it. You can't give a fluent promo. That's not his strong suit. It's not. But this whole feud sucks. Jinder's title run sucks. Honestly, at this point, I would not even be a fan of Nakamura winning the title. Because, as I'm going to repeat what everybody else has said, they haven't gotten to India. They're not going to give half a shit if he wanted a second time in his home country. Quite frankly, obviously none of us would give a shit. I don't think so. Okay. Jinder Mahal wins the championship, and I'm going to make the bold prediction right here, right now. He keeps the title until Royal Rumble. And Nakamura Styles WrestleMania. That's what I think they're going to set up for. But
earlier. Yep.
But I think that they're going to give the Royal Rumble victory to Nakamura.
I knew it.
Not to Styles. I think
So
Styles...
they'll have Styles beat him
That's
at the
right.
Royal Rumble.
Styles is the champion.
Styles will be the champion going into Royal Rumble.
That's what I said when he's like, you saw his idea, but reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, well, first of all, I do want to say that I pretty much agree. I agree with you on the sentiment that this whole feud between Mahal and Nakamura is a total mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
They just do not. Shinsuke needs someone who is a bit, not someone stronger, because he's a strong enough personality on its own. He's just, yes, obviously he's not a native English speaker, so you need to do something with that. But Jinder just doesn't have the chops to cut it just on his own. They both need someone.
I mean, they're both growing into their roles.
Yeah, Jinder is green, and Shinsuke is just adapting to a new culture. Both of these guys needed a different setup of opponents. It was way too early for them to meet.
And
that's the bottom line.
And honestly, and Jinder needed another strong personality to try and help him get over. Randy Orton wasn't that personality. He's at the twilight of his career. And truthfully, and like I was saying, Styles Nakamura WrestleMania with Styles as champion. Watch will all. I mean, maybe not me per se, but you guys are going to sit here, and you're going to say, "Wow, I actually really enjoyed that feud between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, and Jinder Mahal," because even though it was never AJ's strong suit, that's the biggest improvement he's made since coming to the WWE. Is a great microphone personality, and he can help get a match over other than how great he is in the ring. So I feel that months from now we're all going to sit here and say that Jinder needs that, but by the time we get to that point and he loses the title, it's going to be too little, too late. Everyone's going to be too happy about the possibilities to come.
You sell that right, but I don't know, I'm still not totally convinced. I hope one of these two things happens. I hope he either wins the title, takes it off of Jinder Mahal right now.
Meaning Nakamura.
Yes,
okay.
I hope Nakamura takes it off takes the title off of him right now and just drives a nail into the coffin of this awful, awful feud. But if that doesn't happen, I'm not sure if Nakamura winning the Royal Rumble will be adequate reparation for this. I would certainly love it, but number one, I'm not sure if it would be a good enough equivalent exchange. And not for nothing, I'm also not convinced yet that they're actually going to do that. I hope they build him up that way. I hope he'll be built as a strong contender for it.
What's your better alternative? Roman Reigns winning it again?
I didn't say I've got a better alternative. My focus is strictly on Nakamura right now and the role he's going to play in essentially just fixing the WWE title scene as it is right now. Because Jinder Mahal, if they leave the title on Jinder anymore, it's going to be even more painful than it was.
Honestly,
so this isn't, just to be clear here, the focus of this is not, get the title on Shinsuke as fast as possible because I love Shinsuke Nakamura, blah, blah, blah. This is more an emergency. Shinsuke right now is basically a emergency get the title off of Jinder button.
When is Starrcade, by the way? November, right? The weekend
I believe it is November, yes.
The weekend of Thanksgiving. And they're still not in India at that point. So
I'm not convinced. No, because India is the middle of December, right?
Yep.
I'm not convinced it'll last that long. I'm not convinced in the slightest.
And truthfully, one more point, and then we'll get to the last match. And I'm sorry to keep retracting you guys, but okay. I was looking at something on Twitter, and I think somebody put a graph next to one another with WWE at its peak, meaning in television popularity, versus when, like now. Obviously, the attendance is down. Obviously, in the arenas. Obviously, the ratings are down for television. Obviously, with the way that digital media is right now, you're not going to get the same television audience. Everybody's going to watch it either on the network or Hulu or what have you, right? WWE right now is making more money than it ever has, even at the peak of the Attitude Era. And between sponsors, between partnerships, between this, between that, like they're making money hand over fist. That's not the issue, because I think it was you, Jeff, that was saying like the money's going to talk, and somebody's like, "Well, this Jinder guy's not working out." Can't we see like they don't give a shit about that because they're already making their money anyway? It's sad. Like that's why I like watching NXT. Like I'll keep watching WWE. It's wrestling, and there's guys that whether I shared a locker room with them once before or whatever, or I'm just a fan of these guys because I've watched them since, let's say, Ring of Honor or Japan for whatever, for argument's sake. I'm investing in these guys for the long haul, and I'll watch WWE because I want to watch them perform on WWE television. I want them to succeed. But if we're making the argument on it's money, they're going to lose money, this, that, they're making money hand over fist right now. It makes no difference.
I would disagree with that strictly because of just how they view the revenue streams. Yes, they're still making a lot of money, but they're, again, going back to the whole analogy, millionaires who should be billionaires.
True.
There's still a lot of room for growth here, as clearly evidenced by lower live event sales and whole portions of the arena being tarped off. those are. I'm sure anyone in WWE can see that any of those, all those seats can be filled. That's ticket sales that they're missing, and I'm sure they want it.
But is it just Jinder, or is it just the product as a whole? Because we're putting the blame on Jinder, and as we should, because he's the face of the brand.
He is, even though he's obviously not the entire show, he, as the champion, he is still assumed and viewed to be a key player of the show. Mm-hmm. A key player that just does not seem to be generating the interest, focus, or buzz that a show like this would want.
True.
Nor is he particularly... I don't really see him delivering on any aspect of his job other than show up, wrestle an adequate match, and leave.
Steroids.
Yeah, and Roy Magoo, yeah.
Roy Magoo.
Point being is, it's very obvious, at least Roman Reigns, for as much as we don't like the man and we don't like his style, number one, he has improved. Mm-hmm. Number two, he does deliver consistently good matches, at least now.
Agreed.
Number three, they're finally learning his promo style, and he's getting a lot better at it.
True.
And number four, he's also, whether we like him or not, he's still putting butts in seats. He's still moving merch. And when he was champion and when he was in the spotlight and he was the focus, as far as I've ever seen, with the exception of him winning the Royal Rumble, generally speaking, the subscriber numbers didn't go down like they have been during Jinder's whole deal. Sure, there were some protest cancellations on the network, like me, I admit it, but again, I also backed it up. But even then, there were also more coming in to replace that. So, again, when we're talking about, as a whole, WWE, yes, is still making a lot of money, but when you look at the individual revenue streams, the typical revenue streams that you would normally see getting a whole lot of money from, like live event sales, like merch sales, which, again, I believe were some fairly large sums from what they got. Mm-hmm. It's almost like ad revenue is almost making up for what they lost on ticket sales, so it's almost evening out, and it may even look bigger. But I'm sure, again, some bean counter in the back is noticing how all these revenue streams are moving, and someone's just seeing it and they're like, yeah, this is not good. Why would we don't need to sacrifice when we can just build up one revenue stream and be making even more money, and possibly even bring back the pyro, which they've got to know people want. I mean, come on. But again, all that to say, I'm not totally convinced yet that they're going to just wait just to get a pop in India, because they're not buying, number one. And if they want to cheer their hometown boy, he can do it without the belt.
They want to cheer their hometown boy, they just send him to Canada.
This is very true.
And let's face it, it was merch sales.
That just helps my that just helps my case anyway.
And then let's face it, okay, the merch sales was bound to be a fail. They gave him the championship. He had no merch.
He had no merch. He had no image.
They actually just changed his side plates for the title. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did. For 3 months,
it was just
the side plates were his name
in papyrus font.
It's still his name, but it's an actual logo.
Yeah, there's now a logo to it.
Yay!
Yeah, so the merch sales was always
Skippy.
So he's there for the long haul, Jeff.
I still don't believe it. Because they still had plates made for people who were never champion and probably will not be champion. To throw people off.
I guess.
Anyway, we've spent enough time talking about this. We'll just have to see on Sunday. In the meantime, let's take it home with the main event. Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, Hell in a Cell, which is apparently under Falls Count Anywhere rules. What? Gentlemen, who do you got?
It's Falls Count Anywhere in the cell.
Falls Count Anywhere in the cell.
That was an unnecessary rule.
Anyway, who do you got?
Kevin Owens.
I'm going to have to agree. Kevin Owens. If Shane McMahon wins this, it's going to be a trap.
Because I'm going for longer storytelling, with Kevin Owens taking out all the members of the McFamily.
McFamily, yes.
The McFamily.
Ronald McDonald is next.
Of the McFamily, and then Triple H, and then the WrestleMania match this year is Triple H trying to take down his creation. Because he's gonna play like he created Kevin Owens. He gave him the Universal title. He gave him all that he had in NXT.
But you're running
and this is so. And I feel like all of this is. Then he's gonna go to Raw. Okay, where Stephanie McMahon is. Where she's supposed to be, whenever that happens again.
Whenever she heals from falling through a table at WrestleMania.
Yeah, except for that random appearance when Vince McMahon got headbutted.
Yeah.
That's still awesome, by the way. But I mean, it makes sense. Once again, I should never use this in conjunction with the WWE, but for me, long-term storytelling, Triple H versus Kevin Owens makes sense as the match, as the specialty, as the special appearance match for WrestleMania.
He is the prize fighter, so
this year. So Triple H comes back for his one match a year to try to take down what he created. Because what he created has gone completely out of control.
Gentlemen?
I'm going to go with Kevin Owens to mirror what Brian said. We actually talked about this in great detail, what was it, a few weeks ago?
Yep.
So, yeah, the only way to get that storyline going is with a KO win.
Dave, make it a trifecta. Or quadfecta. Whatever that word is.
I'm going to keep it as a trifecta. I'm going with Shane McMahon.
Really?
For the reason being, it makes sense to have KO win. Shane McMahon hasn't won a singles match in like 15 years. I get it. It doesn't work for Shane McMahon. One, why not? I'll be different for once with this one. Two.
You're right. We're probably not going to invite you back. No, I'm just kidding.
Ouch!
I'm joking.
Got some ice for that burn?
Damn.
I'm joking.
We're hardcore around here, I guess.
Yeah.
Give me a hug.
He's hardcore.
Give me a hug.
Don't
Give me a
touch
hug.
me. Don't touch me. I need an adult.
I am an adult.
This is very true.
Behave yourself.
I'm a parent.
This is very true
That's
too.
horrifying.
No, it's
No.
fact. Actually,
It is fact, yeah.
It is fact. Times two. But anyway, so I still.
What were we talking about again?
Because now we're talking about KO. The rumor being that he goes to Raw. Everybody would be like, "Oh well." This would be more validation for Shane McMahon to send him over. If I gotta beat him, I just don't want to deal with the headache anymore. Get his ass out of here. Instead of having Shane McMahon look like the sore loser, he looks like the proud winner. And it's just like, all right, I already vanquished my foe. The storyline could still continue. KO being really pissed off that not only did he lose to Shane McMahon, but after the loss, he was traded to Raw. For whatever reason that may be. Because now he wants to avoid KO, meaning Shane McMahon. And now he's just going to harass Stephanie. This brings Stephanie back, and then Luke, leads into the Triple H storyline. So, Shane McMahon for me.
I can see it going the completely opposite way. Kevin Owens destroys Shane McMahon. The last thing you see is on Hell in a Cell is Shane McMahon getting loaded into the ambulance and the ambulance driving out. Okay, he gets fired. From SmackDown for it.
What I also could see is Vince McMahon coming back and helping Shane win.
Maybe.
But I can also see Daniel Bryan firing him from SmackDown and him going over to Raw that way. Because of what he does to Shane McMahon at Hell in a Cell.
They could also go way back in Attitude Era-esque and make a stipulation up the day of the show. If you don't beat Shane McMahon, you're off of SmackDown.
And I can also see the WrestleMania match with Triple H, and that's when the McMahon family makes their return. like they're off of TV until that match, and then that's how Triple H beats. That's either how Triple H beats KO or KO just takes out everybody.
We'll see.
But yeah, there's a bunch of ways that this could go.
Oh really, yes,
but yeah, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different ways this can go, but again, you've heard what we think. Now we're turning it over to you, the internet wrestling community, or the rest of the wrestling fandom as a whole. What do you think is going to happen at Hell in a Cell? Are we right on the money, or are we just completely wrong, or just something else going to happen? Is Doink the Clown going to come back?
Does
Who
it
knows?
turn you on when I say my pants are tight?
Yes.
Are we scholars or are we morons? Let's go.
Or maybe a little bit of both. Either way, no matter the circumstance, we want to hear from you. So, of course, you can get into contact with us throughout all the usual avenues. Leave us a comment on this video if you're listening to us on YouTube. You can also check us out on our Facebook page I was about to go into Twitter there. Look us up under the Scholars of Wrestling Show on Facebook. Join us the conversation. Or if you'd like to really join the conversation on a more personal level, you can check us out on our Twitter handles.
Giggity?
Yes, giggity.
Personal level? Giggity?
On a personal level.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Check us out at Scholars OW. That's our main channel account for all the latest episode uploads every single week. And of course, for extra fun, you can join the conversation on our personal Twitter accounts. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avataric.
Brian.
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
And Dave.
You can reach me personally at Calypso426. Also, if you're listening to this via Filling the Void Podcast Network, you can follow that Twitter at Filling the Void P, or you can listen to the archives of this show as on Spreaker, Spreaker.com/filling_the_void. And that's it for me.
And last but not least, you can also check me out at I'm Robbie Rage, all one word. It's a force of habit. Join the conversation. It's always a good time. I'm planning on doing at least a little bit of live tweeting on Hell in a Cell. It's always a good time. Always fun to see the live reactions. It's cool. You want to be cool, don't you? Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. Boom.
No, you're not cool.
I know I'm not, but I don't care.
Not you. The people who you're saying you want to be cool, no, you are not cool.
You ain't cool unless you're sending spirit energy to Shinsuke Nakamura to beat Jinder Mahal this Sunday.
I take a bite out
We're
of an
going to
apple
hell,
and spit that to
and you know what's waiting for us there? A Jinder Mahal longer championship run.
We're already in hell.
We're already in hell, and we're going to be there for a lot longer.
in a cell.
You know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all at Hell in a Cell.
Thank you for joining us, Dave.
See you all in hell.